Icyana, we are ready whenever you are.
Okay, I also decided to do mine on polarization and how our nation has come to a standstill. And we've seen that our political performance has been lacking, and less things are getting done, and not a lot of progress is being seen. We asked, why is that? Our elected officials that we put into office, they seem to have this thing of being opposite of each other. But we don't see the division as visible in our local scene. People are still working together, but it seems that the House and the Senate has risen to the point where it's the highest polarization that we've seen in years. And this isn't good because 75% of the votes that we've seen in the House and the Senate last year has risen, and it's been the highest polarized vote that we've seen in years. It's crazy that you can think that 75%, that's 3/4 of the votes, that bills that we could have seen this year. And it's only expected to rise. We can only expect for it to get worse in the years to come. And we've seen that the last peak that we saw was when President Roosevelt was in office. Then we get this split, a divided America. We see that it's divided and separated, and we don't see a compromise in this new America that we see today. Then we have this decision, either you're with us or you're against us. So you're either with the Republicans or you're with the Democrats. You don't see very much of the in the middle stage. And if you're in the middle, it's almost like you're wrong. And so then when you see this, you think of the Democrats think it's unfair. It's unfair because the Republicans think this is the way it should be. Then you get into, well, you can't define marriage, you can't define what we should believe. And then the Republicans feel like you've lost conscious of what our nation was built on. And our nation was built on religion. And so it says that a marriage is between a man and a woman. So we just feel like, the Republicans feel like you've just gotten lost in that stage. Then we get into the blame game. Well, it's always the other guy's fault, and nothing is getting done because it's the other guy's fault. Then we see that nothing is really getting done, and it's always one person is against the other. And then we get this fork in the road where you either decide you're going to compromise and go the peaceful way, or you're going to decide to go the other way and deal with conflicts and wars. So then you see more of the rallies and the people speaking out, and it's the class wars against each other, and people are trying to get their point across, but not everyone is listening. And everyone is trying to portray this thing of it being unfair. Then it's projected that by the year 2016, we are expected to have another civil war. And this isn't good because we see that the people aren't compromising it now. So why is it that we have to get to the war part before anything happens? Then it reminds me of the book 1984, which the concept is double thing, where war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength. And this is to say that war is going to be natural to us, and freedom is like what the government controls, and not knowing things is actually what's strengthening to us. And the best way for us to do it is for us to come together to make the opposite effect. And then let us remember that we're all equal, and that's what the justice is built on, is us being equal. And so we should get back to that focus point of us being equal and it being right for us to be equal. And then we should have determination that everything should be better for us and everything should be right for everyone to be together and come together and put your foot down and say this is the right way for us to go. And we don't have to come to a war for us to decide that this is the right thing to do. And it reminds us that we can be together, united. We stand, and divided we fall. And that's what our motto, and that's what our country was born and our country stands for. and just remember that we are the people. And so coming together and putting that together for us to think that this is the right thing to do. And so this is the best way to fix our polarization. And that's one thing that I learned in our class, is that people have the right to believe whatever they want, and people should have the open mind. And it gets us back to America the Beautiful. And so that's what it is. We should get back to that thought of America the Beautiful.
All right, thank you. Okay, very nice, Icyana. Any questions for Icyana, please? Yes, sir, Sean.
Where did you read that we're going to go into the rest of the war?
I read that when I looked up that image of the coming Civil War, there usually when you look up Google images on the background, it shows you the website that it came from. So I read this blog, and the guy had made a blog about how the world has gotten to the point where it's so either left or right, and he said that that's what it's going to be like. So it was from a blog, but he was like a pretty good official, so I don't really know.
It's interesting. It might have been a white supremacist blog or something, but still source, absolutely. Good point. Any other questions, folks? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question, but the 1994,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah. Why was that awesome for you, Emily?
I read it in high school,
So did I.
and I never put it into like context with this class, but that
Mhm.
it actually relates really well. You know,
Sure.
like you think of it with polarization,
Mhm.
so it's kind of an eye-opener.
Cool. Yes, ma'am, Zoe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna agree with Emily. I read that book and I was really glad I didn't use that. And I had never thought about it until like we put that up there in the words that.
Cool.
book had said.
Yeah, it's a great book. That book, though, it deals with the totalitarian state, right? So are you saying then the U.S. is becoming like a totalitarian state? A dictatorship?
I'm saying that it's advancing that way.
Hmm.
So I feel like we can change that, but we see signs that it's possible.
Mm-hmm, sure. And then how much would you say the economy, because you said this polarization happened the biggest during the time of Roosevelt, around the Great Depression. Do you think the economy, or how does the economy play into polarization?
I feel like we're gonna get so low to the point where we crack, and then we bounce back. And I feel like we're getting to that point where we're getting to that breaking point, and we're gonna crack, and then it's all gonna be good. But then we're gonna continue this whole cycle of we're gonna do good, and then we're gonna crack, and then it's gonna start all over again.
Very good. All right, very good. Nice job, Icyana.